Hi, this is Dan for Tech Digest and Shiny Shiny, and also HDTV UK as well. I'm here today looking at the Sanyo ZACTI Dual HD 2000 camcorder. That's a hell of a mouthful. Normally it would just be a ZACTI camcorder, but the idea of the dual thing in this is what Sanyo are really going for, is the idea that it's a camcorder, but at the same time it's a very good stills camera too. Now they back that one up by having an 8.1 megapixel CMOS sensor. The kind of sensor you might normally have, let's say, in a DSLR rather than the usual CCD sensor, so you do get reasonably good pictures. You get a 10 times zoom, and the lens is a aperture of f2 to f2.9, so it's not so bad. They didn't actually mention any glassware manufacturers specifically, so they're obviously not wonderfully proud of the glassware, but it comes across okay if you ask me. You get a 3-inch LCD on the back there, so you can look at everything, well you can probably look at me at the moment, through that. You get the whole normal range as far as stills photography goes of exposure settings, white balance settings, good ISO range, scene settings. Like a good SLR as well, you can pick all the different focus points you want. I think there's about 9 of them at the best. You also get a rapid shoot mode as well, where you can hold down the trigger, which is that bit at the back there, and you can get up to 13 shots in a row. Just keep taking them until you take your thumb off, which isn't too bad. It's more like a compact in terms of the response time of when you actually press the shutter release and how long till the photo's taken, which is a bit annoying, especially if you're used to SLRs. But if you're used to compacts, it's pretty standard stuff. You got your flash on the top as well. Unfortunately, it doesn't work as a light during camcorder mode. It's just purely for stills use, which is a bit of a shame. But obviously the primary point of this is its camcording capabilities, and you might have noticed in the name it's got HD 2000, and it's not just 720p, we're talking 1080/60p. So it's full HD, and it's not just interlaced footage that it's taking, it's a progressive 60 frames a second. Now, that gives it quite a nice quality actually. The idea is they're trying to take from proper, more professional film cameras on that, and you do get a slight look of a more filmic, if you like, old traditional 35mm look to it, which is actually quite good. Because of that, it's obviously going to cost a lot of money, this thing. It's £549, which is a lot for a compact camera, and it's quite a lot for a camcorder too. But, admittedly, you're not paying for nothing here, you are getting some quality out of it. There's no onboard memory, which is a bit of a shame because some of the other models in this range that have just come out do. It works purely on SD cards, which you slot in through the back there. If you're filming in HD, you'd get about 10 minutes per 2GB card, something like that. It's not too bad. I mean, you're not supposed to be shooting whole feature films on this thing. What you want to do afterwards to get it off, they've actually given you a dock here. So you don't have to just use put your card in the computer if you want to. You've got a variety of ways of getting it across. You've got USB, component, HDMI cable, which unfortunately doesn't come with it. You do, on the other hand, get a whole bunch of cables, just about everything else in fact. And you can just charge the thing, instead of using the dock, just straight by a DC cable, which plugs into the camera out the back there, next to the SD card slot. If you're familiar with ZACTI cameras, it's a very simple, normal Sanyo ZACTI display on the back there. You're either switching between record mode or play mode, and using either the stills or the video camera there. I'll show you the menus close up in a second so you can get the idea, but there is actually a switch right here so you can go between normal and simple mode. Normal if you want to make all the choices, simple if you're handing it to someone a bit basic who doesn't really know what they're doing with this kind of thing, and then it's very simple stuff like, would you like to shoot here? Yes, please. It's also, the microphone in it is actually pretty good, but if you're in a crowded area, you'd probably want to use the mic jack there. Now, sadly, it is a 2.5mm jack, which is a bit annoying because I have a 3.5 cable, which I've had to use a little adapter for, and actually I find it gets in the way a bit there, which is a bit of a pain. So bear that in mind if you're having to use an adapter as well. Other than that, things I liked about this camera, it's got face chasing as well, which is their face lock, face recognition, that's what you call it. So you can see it's got the face lock on Duncan here, and we can move around and it stays with him and it has a pretty, well, usually a pretty good idea of where he is at all times. And you can also see in the corner down there, tells you how much battery you've got left. And what I've found with this camera is I've only charged it up once. I've used it a hell of a long time and it still hasn't run out of batteries. You're getting around 350 minutes of standby and about over 100 minutes of use. It's really quite impressive. But it works in the video camera mode as well, so you can literally chase people's faces around, which is pretty good. What I also liked about this is that it's got a really, really good super macro mode in the stills mode. You can actually shoot from, well, they say from 1 centimetre away, but I found even less. I was taking some pictures of a pound coin earlier. You can practically see, like, you know, the Queen's warts on her face. It was absolutely perfect. So that was really, really impressive. Things I don't like mainly are the price and the way the jack doesn't quite fit in there properly. But otherwise, I think it's a really good bit of kit. And if you're buying a camcorder and you want to spend lots of money, you could do a hell of a lot worse. Otherwise, there are other camcorders out there which are probably a bit more modest. They probably don't give you as many features, not quite as beautiful stills, but you're probably getting slightly more value for money with those, I would think. But there you go, Sanyo ZACTI HD 2000, a pretty good camera all round.